I always define leadership as, do you care about your teammates or your coworkers, and do you care what we're trying to accomplish? That to me is great leadership. And like, there's a lot of people that go about those different ways. Some people are more vocal, some people are more action oriented. But I think whether it's verbal or whether it's action, it will still reflect upon those two goals. Like, but if it's about me, my glorification or my money or my agenda, there's not a caring element to the people that you're working with. And it's also not an element about how are we doing this as a team, because football is a team sport. I didn't choose an individual sport. So I needed everybody to be good. I needed every player, every coach. So I needed to be the example. But I had to let them know that, guys, this is about us. This isn't about me, this is us. And you do that a lot of different ways. And then, okay, what are we trying to accomplish? We're trying to be our best every day. How are we going to do that? And then you put the plan in action. But in this world today, there's so many people that are me focused, and I think that's a big difference from when I look back maybe previously to, this era of social media where we all have our own production businesses and we're all trying to self-promote. And there's a place for that for sure. But in team sports, that should not be the main priority. Like if you're off season and you've got to promote products and sell products and you want to bring awareness to certain things, it could be a foundation, it could be a business. Cool with that. Yep. But if you're trying to take away from what the team's trying to accomplish as we go on a mission to beat the other teams that we're competing against, well, then we're going to have a problem, because we're not going to be all committed to the same goal. You're going to have one goal, you're going to have a goal, I'm going to have a goal. All 53 guys in the team, we're all going to have, like, what?
Yeah.
How do we accomplish the one goal?
I bet your teammates were just so disappointed if they ever let you down.
Was that the case?
I can't imagine. Did you ever, like, if someone didn't do their job and like maybe repeatedly, how do you deal with someone who's constantly not performing at the level that they can?
I think there were in football, there were a lot of layers they had to get through before it got to me.
Okay.
There's still a general manager that they had to sathsify, and a head coach and a position coach. And I think for me, it was, we all fucked up. I threw a lot of interceptions. I threw a lot of bad passes, made a lot of bad reads. That happens. Physical mistakes happen. Mental mistakes happen to a degree. You go into the huddle and there's 70,000 fans and I rattle off a play call. And in the call, I have two different calls. I have one play with an alert to a next play if I like a different look. I get to the line of scrimmage and then I change the play and then I signal a route to someone. There's a lot of things going on. So I can live with some mental mistakes, and because I made mistakes too. I'd get pissed if we weren't competitive. I'd get pissed if we weren't focused. I'd get pissed if we showed up late. Like, I think more of the intangible things would bother me rather than a guy dropping a ball. If a guy dropped a ball, hey, come on, we'll get the next one. If a guy didn't give his heart and soul to the team, I'd have a problem with that.
Okay. Yeah. No one can be lacking around you.
Yeah, because that's just for a high-performing organization like I was in, we couldn't beat other teams if we were operating at 70%. Okay. Bill would always say, don't just expect to roll your helmet out on the field and think that they're going to quit. Yeah. Like, you better go earn it. And when you get to be one of the top teams, every team that you play, they're measuring, you're the measuring stick for where they're at. So even if they lose and they keep it competitive, they're like, we were close, but we lost. But for us, because we had this high bar, like, we had to do it. And that to me was the element of sport where, like, even the competition motivated us to be better. When I played Peyton Manning, I couldn't have an off day. Yeah. That dude was going to throw for 350 yards. Yeah. How could I have an average day and expect to win? So even the competition motivated us.
Hey guys, if you like that clip, hit the subscribe button. And if you want to see more zany clips, click the video right here.